Hey everyone, welcome to the second video in the in-person events playbook um, for the coaching business model. Now, in this one, we're going to focus on the actual fulfillment, the actual event organizing, and everything else. Uh, how to ensure the check-ins are happening smoothly, the backstage, the sales tables, everything is running smoothly. I'll share all the notes, the tips, the strategies that I've learned for like mostly for large events, 200 all the way up to 5,000 attendees. And hopefully with this, you guys have a checklist that you can use yourself when you're running large scale events. If you guys are already experienced, you might find things here that you didn't know before. And hopefully I can make life easy. And I've compiled this over a booklet, but I'll try to share it later. There should be like on the portal, there should be a button below that you can click and get access to it. It's 2 a.m. past midnight, so I'll try to keep this short and let's get started. Right. So the first thing that's going to happen is with this overall, just give me a second. Let me pull out my notes. Yeah. So you need to do certain things pre-event and then you do something certain stuff during the events, right? Now, most likely for large scale events, you need to pick a really solid team, all right? Like the better the team is, the less you'll have to worry about things going wrong and the less they will burden on your own shoulders. And the people who take initiative and have conscientiousness and are proactive, besides your existing team members or your clients that have the work ethic, just bring them in, and that makes life so much easy. Again, this if this feels a bit excessive, everything that I'll mention next, this is more so tailored for like 500 to 5,000 people size rooms. If you are running shorter, just scale it down. All right. Find the things that you feel industry. If you make mistakes, you can come back to these notes again and find the solutions for them because you might learn these lessons by doing it yourself as well. But hopefully you don't have to. So you've done that. If you're hiring external volunteers or staff, quality check them, see them for how good they are. They will decide the experience that everybody else has. And if you're getting volunteers, it's pretty simple. You send an email to your existing list for volunteers. You can run out for it. You can post it on your social, same style for sourcing leads. Volunteers that help you out, give them a good mission statement or a reason worth being a part of this amazing event that is there for whatever goal that you have. And that way you can find people who can come in and start helping you with executing the whole thing. Now, once you have finalized your team, create a WhatsApp group or a communication channel. Like people create Slack. I think most people like emails are too weird. I think WhatsApp is generally like a better channel, but again, up to you. But have a place where everybody is there together and you can use that in real time for communication, both pre and during the event. And then get everyone to introduce themselves. Provide them all the details of the event beforehand. This would also apply if you're hiring outsourced labor through like Airtasker or SiteKicker or any of these bloody sites that give you 1 day short like casuals that can come in and work. But yeah, so if you have their details, add them in, provide them, brief them on the details. Here's the name, here's the goal for the event, these are the speakers, here's the timings, here's how it's going to run. If you guys have any questions, you can contact me and the following team leaders. And then, better yet, have a pre-event meeting that works even well. Do a pep talk, get everybody excited, get everybody engaged, answer any questions. And then there would be a signing chain of command. So this is the next thing, where for events of this size, the larger they are, you won't be able to cover everything yourself. And the last thing you want is for everyone to be reporting directly to you and coming to you for decision making. You need to delegate your power to others. You need to give others the authority to independently decide what to do, right? You need to pick the people who can do that. Generally, your team leads who understand and have been working with you. Sorry, generally your team members who have been with you for a while, or your executives or people like that or others who have experience in the space. You can bring them in, make them the team leaders. And now, depending on the size and the roles, you can assign one team leader to one role and they can have staff under them that were casuals or volunteers or just general staff that can come in and then support the team leader, right? And the team leader is responsible for his team and reporting to you directly and ensuring that everything that is assigned to him as the responsibility is running smoothly. And then also in the WhatsApp group, you tell everybody that this person is the one you're going to report to based on however you assign the teams, or you can do it on the day itself, works both ways. The last thing you want is you're also the main speaker, you're handling backstage, you're handling the registrations, you're just going crazy running around. Give authority to others. This is the best time to do that, right? And now, here's how it would normally work. When the event is starting, the first thing you want is, besides you, for the team leaders to also come in first. Have a look around the venue. Make sure everything is running smoothly. The chairs are set up correctly. The backstage is running smoothly. There's water dispensers. If there are notepads with notes, power supplies are there at the sales tables in the back end where people can go in and um, ensure that like you guys have access to the pre-event materials like the booklets, the lanyards, the wristbands, whatever you will be using to give it to the attendees. Make sure all of it is there. Um, and then once you've done that, walk around the venue, just get a feel for it. And then you'll probably be venue managers there. So people, there will likely be somebody already there who will be overseeing and helping you guys, and they'll probably come in and say hello. And you just get their card so you can contact them later in case you need more chairs or something goes wrong, right? Now, besides this, you will likely be for the team leaders. I'm assuming that these notes are for the team leaders or the person you're watching this organizing thing, you'll be delegating this to the team leaders. They will mainly be the guys on the front desk, will be coordinating with give their contact details and not yours to the staff members and the volunteers so they can contact them if they're getting stuck or something like that, right? And they'll be coordinating and greeting this team as they come in. So it could be like if the event starts at 9, team leaders come at 7:30, staff comes at 8. And actually, no, that's actually a bad thing. Team leaders come at 6:30 or 7, staff comes at 7:30, and then you brief the staff from 7:30 to 8. And then because people start coming in early from 8 to 9, you start the check-ins and the regos, right? That's how I would manage the timeline. But obviously, besides that, once the staff is there, you've briefed everyone, the team leaders have briefed everyone on their roles, on their responsibilities. Do some role play with the team, like the customer service people or the registration people. Ask them what to do, play out the scenarios with them, ask them questions, assign everyone to their roles, get them to repeat what their tasks are. So everyone is on the same page. Give them the briefing to contact you where the emergency exits are, the most commonly asked questions. Better yet, these SOPs that I'll print per section later, you can delegate or tailor them to yours and assign them to every single segment. And that would just systematize things. And that's why I built this whole thing um, for myself as well for the future, because I'd rather not think and just have a system that I can just reuse, which takes a lot of the guesswork away. So if they want an answer or for the most commonly asked things or the problems or stuff, they can just look here. But anyways, so all of this happens. Now you open the gates and people start coming in. Everybody, like, I'll cover the exact specific roles later, but let's suppose everybody's on their desks and everybody is, um, the staff is there and people are starting to come in and you're checking them in. Now, your role, besides obviously sitting with them and doing whatever is required, like checking people in or supervising inside or ushering people to their seats or whatever, walk around and make sure everybody's doing their job. I have made this mistake in the past where the staff members, despite me telling them what to do, didn't really like. Okay, so this thing happened once where a lady or a person gave the wrong colored lanyards. So she gave platinum to all the general admission ones. And now they're inside and we don't know who is who. And we can't contact them, despite the fact that I or the team leader had told her, like, explained the whole thing to everyone, and people sometimes still make mistakes, and that just happens. And I back then used to be the person who would sit down and look at everything. And then I realized that might not be the best strategy, so it's better if I walk around and supervise everything. And all of these things, so all of these notes, I've learned them through the hard way. Like, I wasn't given any, like, this framework was developed. I originally developed it for myself and then later developed for clients and recently developed it again and made it better and added more notes and tips and strategies to it. Like, this is pretty much just like things that I observed through mistakes made that I'm making notes of because there was no like training, formal training or anything given to us, right? So all of this is stuff I wish I knew, and that would have made my life so much easier. But yeah, so instead of sitting in, I know you want to and you're passionate, you're better off supervising people. By you, I mean the team leader, right? To do that. And I was more mainly the guy who would be one of the head leaders and who would be in charge of the ground team. Um, so anyways, and the main person, the organizer, which likely is you, you will likely be in charge of the backstage. So if you're the main speaker you're selling, get somebody or your second in command or someone to be the main lead for the grounds team. Well, you're the person in charge of the backstage. Like these two departments, right, are the main ones. Like the backstage where speakers come in and you're dealing with them, and you're dealing with the AV teams when you come in, and you're dealing with all of the stuff back there and speaking and getting into the zone and ensuring things back there are running smoothly with one or two team members who bring out the best in you there. And then there's all of this ground stuff going on, and you don't want to worry about it. Like, seriously, it's distracting and focus on getting on stage and delivering, doing the best thing possible. Now, anyways, now here's the next thing. When the event starts, you want to fill out the seats at the front first. Super important. Otherwise, people sit at the back. Front seats are empty, and just the speakers don't feel confident when they get on stage, or it looks weird when you're taking pictures and stuff like that, right? So you want to fill the seats at the front first, and you do that through two ways. First one is you have ushers or people of the staff who are standing next to the gates who are directing people to go to the front. Simple solution. Next one is you can literally tape the seats if it's theater style. Like just take a duct tape and just bring it with you and just tape those seats and then remove like a ribbon, so that people can't like go in like it's an exclusion zone. And then you just take the tape off when the front areas are filled, and then you just take it off so people can start sitting on the back seats. And then you do that for all the sections. Works really well. Generally, for really large events, the platinum area and the other area will be separated. So you would just rather control the entry and exit points, because sometimes what happens is, again, depends on the venue layout, but like here is the exit and then here's the event, but there's no exit over there or at the front, so everybody's coming from here, and people will sit in the back and so like you start getting people here and nobody's sitting in the far right corner and in the last lane, so you have to literally usher people there, and you'll figure this out once you run, but make sure you fill it out evenly, otherwise it will be annoying. And you'll probably have to ask somebody to do that anyways. Now, all of this stuff is taken care of. People are coming in. Things are running smoothly. Now, the thing is, you might have to, if it's a free event, which have unpredictable show up rates, the opposite might happen, which is you might have to remove the chairs. All right. Like has happened many times, where sometimes you get more than expected people showing up. So what do you do in that scenario? You contact the venue managers and get them to bring in more chairs than the ones that you have already allocated. Generally, you'd be able to get like 10-15% more people through the chairs, and that's like one solution. And if you're at max capacity and there's standing room only, always keep 5, 6 extra chairs in the back, turn them face down, stack them on top of each other or whatever, and save them for elderly women or pregnant women or somebody who has like injury or something like that, because you might also get those people coming in and you don't want them to keep on standing, right? So yeah, I remembered struggling with this once before. So just do that. And the other thing is like always, but sometimes what would happen is you might also have to need to remove chairs if the event is not being filled properly. And you generally do that during lunch breaks. There are two ways of handling if the show up rates are low. First one is you don't put all the chairs in. Instead, you keep 10 to 20% chairs at the back stacked, all right? But like not in a very weird fashion, like still easy to move and assign whenever somebody comes in. And you get staff members who, as the people come in, they just take chairs from there and put them in. So that pretty much ensures that if there are less people, those chairs can remain there, and and the room doesn't look empty. Otherwise, it looks full. Like seriously, this lengths we go to make it look like the room is full. After lunch break, otherwise you remove 20%. That's the other thing. So um, that should take care of it, depending on how your show operates were. Uh, if this happens in free events. For paid events, especially when the headliner is at the end these days, I've noticed that people have conditioned themselves to come in after lunch. So you might actually end up getting more people after lunch. So be careful about that with there. Now, other thing, the staff chairs or the staff tables at the back of the room, or they will also likely be used as sales tables as well, that are likely in four corners or something. That they are super important. First, the positioning of the sales tables, it needs to be accessible by everyone, right? And the area shouldn't be congested. Super important. Because normally, whenever a sales speaker or you might sell, it might happen before a lunch break or something. And the last thing you want is people walking out and closing the entryway so nobody can come in and sell and they see everyone walking out, so they walk out with them, right? Like I've seen like this, I don't know who was the smart person, but we ran an event once. It got crowded. More people showed up than usual, so they were just stacking chairs. They just added more chairs. But something they also did was they added chairs right next to the staff tables. So there was like literally this much difference between the staff tables and the chairs. And then when the person from stage sold, nobody could come in. I mean, obviously there were QR codes, but many people didn't have their credit card number on hand or anything like that, and they wanted to pay on an FPOS machine or sign a manual contract and do a bank transfer. And those guys or had questions, and those couldn't come to the sales table because literally the chairs had blocked it. So be careful of that. Don't make that mistake. Other thing is keep that area clear. Assign a staff member on the staff tables and the sales tables so nobody sits there because people will try to sit there. Um, yeah, they always try to sit there. So have somebody there that whose only job is to ensure nobody is sitting there. And obviously people can rotate, staff will sit there anyways. But that just keeps those areas clean for when you're selling and keeps life easier for all of us. Resuming. Now, ideally print out an SOP checklist, which is likely going to be 1 or 2 pages that identifies their roles, the times for breaks, what they have to do, the checklist of things they have to go through, like setting up tables or whatever, and FAQs, most likely questions people will ask them and stuff like that. And give that to every team so they know what their roles and responsibilities are. Don't assign everybody the whole event run sheet because that would just overwhelm them, right? So just give them their specific instructions and roles, and that should make life easy for everyone. Second thing is try to stay hydrated, all right? Drink plenty of water throughout the event and consume snacks, provide snacks to your team because otherwise midway through their energy levels would drop. Happens, especially because if you're running around and moving around both for yourself and your team, ensure that they have both snacks, quick snacks like carbs, chocolate bars, or whatever. Um, because this is a marathon, this is not a sprint. And again, personal mistakes where in the beginning I went all in high energy, and in 3 hours and I was feeling like I'm probably dead. My stamina did improve over time, but for those of you that are starting out, maintain your energy. Uh, be relaxed. I know our energy levels and adrenaline spikes, but you don't want the rush to happen halfway through when the speaker is selling from stage and now you're starting to get sleepy. The worst thing possible. Make sure you get good night's rest as well. All right. The last thing you want is have this big event at no sleep. Work ethic is good, just not the right thing here, or you might have to rely too much on energy drinks. Anyways, that's the thing. And depending on the venue layout, like I've covered that. Yeah, I think all of that is good. Now, next thing, structure of the. Now, I'm gonna go into the specific roles, divide people into 3, 4 levels, and then share some closing off sentiments. So first thing is, if you have more than 10 people, just have like a vertical hierarchy or command chain, right? Chain of command, let's just call it that thing, similar to the military, but it works simply. So there is the main organizer, or you are the person that the team leaders report to, and then there's staff and everyone who reports to the team leaders. There's like 2 levels of hierarchy, like 2 steps, right? You don't need 3, right? Not likely 2 should be enough in the worst case. And this works if you have more than 10 people, then you can just make it teams of 3. 10 to 12 people, like just have 4 teams of 3 and assign one for in the morning, assign some to usher, assign some for miscellaneous bag and toss and stuff like that. But anyways, now let's move in and here are the SOP's role. First thing is backstage is likely going to be you. with the person who makes you feel the best. Already covered that. Next one is going to be, so this is the first official category, is going to be front desk team. And their, whatever their numbers are, but they'll be seated at the front desk. And after morning registration, some can go back inside and usher people in and remain there, or otherwise, if there are fewer of them, they stay outside the whole day because it also acts as an information desk besides just regos. And people just like it's where most people will come in, answer questions. Their roles obviously are, again, there's a sheet, like I can share my screen here. Let's actually just do that. Let's just share my screen. Who cares? So front desk team rundown sheet. Whatever their numbers are, specific tasks and responsibilities. Register attendees throughout the day. Check tickets, issue bans, lanyards, whatever. Give them the booklets. Uh, Refer them to their desks, their areas. Time specifics, like tell them at certain time they can help go inside some of them to usher people in, answer queries, maintain desk present and event first impression. This is the role that people see. This is the first impression. They can greet them, welcome them inside. Works well. In the event of noticing unmedia or suspicious attendees, weirdos report to team leaders and don't let them enter even if they have a ticket. Important lesson. Drunk people or anybody who gives off weird vibes, don't let them in. You need to instruct that to this team because in the past we had this incident happen a few times, and I learned this. I just checked it up, and other people like sometimes you have these issues where people who are weird come in and then they make it a bad experience where they start screaming or they just cause a mess for everyone else involved, or there's media that just goes on and starts interviewing people or pressing them for questions. Generally, you don't let them in, like tell them to leave respectfully, or contact the team leaders. The team leaders' role will be ensuring that they can then patch that up with the venue security, who then takes care of it. And most venues would have their own security, right? Optional um, role that front of the office can also do is call ticket holders. So this is the part where the VIPs, at least that didn't show up because these guys are most likely to buy. So reach out to them. Roles and responsibilities are outlined here. Crucial for setting the first impression, memorable service at the front desk. By ensuring a smooth registration process, being readily available to assist with inquiries, the front desk team. Blah, blah, blah. Checklist of things they need to do. Set up the front desk before attendees arrive. Verify tickets and provide appropriate bands or lanyards. Greet attendees warmly and provide initial guidance. Answer any queries. Coordinate with other teams regarding attendees. Manage any ticket-related issues like I lost my ticket or they need to upgrade. Maintain a tidy, organized desk area. Blah, blah, blah. Likely frequently asked questions. People will come in and you ask, what time does the main headliner come on stage? The most asked question, especially at conferences that rely on the model where there's like one main speaker that comes at the end. If you don't want to reveal the time, because again, let's just face reality, people would leave and then they would come back at the time when the headliner is, because that headliner is the draw card. So Um, but again, if you're providing value, you normally give them an answer like this, an empathetic nod. For security reasons, unfortunately, we can't reveal the timings haven't been made public, right? So they haven't been shared with us either. Like I don't know the timings either, but I'm sure if there's anything else that you need, I can help you out with that. Something like that. I misplaced my ticket or something. Whatever the registration process is, the team leader can manually check in the back end if that person registered or not. But if you guys have a run sheet, just look them up. If they don't have an email or something, give your name and address. Can I upgrade my ticket? Now, this depends on the availability. Generally, we allow it. So have a QR code in case on the Rego desk that they can use to scan, or refer to a team leader if they want to manually pay or something like that, or they can go to a website, whatever it is. Again, depends. If they are asking for inclusions, send them to the website. Where are the restrooms? Very common question. Just point in the direction. Where's the Platinum Lounge? If you have Platinum tickets, direct them to the lounge. What time is lunch break? Very common question. Just tell them the time of the lunch break. Side note, tell this to the team. Your lunch will start after um, the lunch of the stars. Like team members will stagger their lunch break post main audience lunch at 1 p.m. Two team members can leave their stuff followed by this just assumes they're five. But generally you can alternate between how many people you have. Some can leave and others and then come back and then the rest can leave. So you alternate that so that the desks are still manned, and this also needs to be coordinated with when people are selling. Because if during sales and still the sale is happening right before lunch break, then you would want people to be there and not leave at that time because in case they're coming outside or you need them at the register at the sales tables. Be calm and composed. Unpredictable things happen, and we will be dealing with all sorts of people. Your ability to not get emotional will allow you to make rational, level-headed decisions. Um, Pretty straightforward, important lesson, right? Now, this is the next thing. These are guest experience teams. I made two, you can have one, again, varies. These are the people that are mainly going to be inside. Whatever their team size is, they are throughout the event hall. Attendee management, sales support, crowd control, pretty much. Expanded roles and responsibilities. Um, in the beginning, help registration, because what happens is for these large events, you get so many people coming in first in the morning. So registration is important, but you generally don't open the gates up. I need to add that as a note. Like, don't just open the gates. Let everybody come in. They wait in the outside area, and then you open the gates when like you have sufficient audience, so it's easier to direct them once and for all. But yeah, in the morning, you want as many people at the rego desks as possible, and just have like one person inside or something. And then when you're about to open the gates, send half of them inside so they can start ushering, and the remaining can be outside to still do the registrations. But yeah, after attendee, just go inside. Information point. When you're directing people, they'll likely come to you, ask questions. You're probably going to be stationed across the room. People will come to you and ask questions, so you're sort of the person who's guiding them. Ushering in crowd management, taking people to their seats. Don't do this. I've seen people do this. Like, go there. Like, no, your role is to take the person to the seat. Just be like, hey, follow me. And this will be even more crucial towards the later hours when the seats are almost full. Like, and or seats are like in the middle section. So you want people who are really good and not embarrassed or whatever, and they're taking and you get used to it. But they're just walking the person as they're coming in, especially the platinum and the VIPs, to empty chairs, asking people if the chair next to them is free or whatever, and then getting them to sit to be seated over there. And obviously sales table support. Assist with sales transactions and inquiries. Generally, you brief them that you scan the QR code, easiest thing. If they have a manual contract, send them to the um, team lead. Generally they can like do that over there and monetize and get them to then pay or collect the deposit. Guide attendees after lunch breaks back to their seats because after lunch you get another rush, important time period. Enhance customer, engage with attendees, offer assistance, answer questions, blah blah blah. Make it an amazing experience. Notes here, checklist, assist with desk registration early in the morning, direct attendees towards their seat after 9:30, manage high traffic areas to prevent congestion, support sales effort during, then tell them what time that will happen, ensure orderly and safe exits during sessions, change event conclusion, remain alert to potential emergencies and respond as trained, maintain a positive demeanor. Where do I find my seat? That'll be likely though. Like people will just come in, you see their lanyard and you direct them. Have one person on the Actually, that's the role for the next one. But yeah, what time headliner, you know how to answer that. Where's the Platinum Lounge? Where's the sales related questions regarding the package itself? Refer to the team leaders or have somebody in the corner who can answer sales related question. Like you don't want the person to be standing on the sales table and asking questions regarding sales because that blocks everybody else and then they might start wondering as well. So you just refer them. You can ask Sam over there who's standing in that corner, or I can get back to you later. Because the goal at the sales table is not to answer a question, it's to transact, it's to collect money. But definitely answering questions is important. So have someone else do that. Balance both things because you might be able to manually convert people who have questions. They're going to come to you. So just direct them to somebody who can answer them. Generally, if these are just normal staff, they can direct it to somebody who's part of the team and experienced with the offer. And station one person who is experienced with your product or service at all the desks, ideally. Heck, sometimes speakers go on the desks later on. But anyways, during sales, if they want to do a bank transfer for them to team leaders, again, many people want to do bank transfer, so they can do that manually. A physical card, forgot number, can pay via the FPOS machine, whatever, through phone, stuff like that works. Side notes, lunch break, same thing. Chain of leadership. You might tell them who they report to, and then for emergencies, who they contact and stuff like that. Now, next one is VIP and Platinum Experience team. This likely make this person assign someone who is solid and good at customer service or with authority here, like your second and like somebody who is like one of the more front faces of the company or something. They can be there because they can greet everyone personally. These guys are platinum. They're probably paid the most money and they're likely going to invest and they're the most committed. And some of these guys might be divas as well. So that's the other thing. But yeah, whatever the members are, they in the morning check in, like divide roles, have them check them in as well as guiding them to the seats. So this team is responsible for that. Generally, you have a separate desk for registering uh, VIPs and platinums, and I'll just make a note over here at the top. I'm literally building this as we go. Separate desks for general and VIP regos. Just helps. Well, now coming back to the VIP section. So you do that. Give team notes, for example, for Platinum when checking them and tell them that lunch will be provided in the Platinum Lounge or wherever. And they also can go to network and sometimes whatever. So just tell them where the Platinum Lounge are, where they will get lunch, all the inclusions. You'll get photos and meet and greet at the end. They will be emailed to you, just so they know what's going to happen. Otherwise, they sometimes don't take advantage of the things and then complain later, has happened in the past. Platinum and VIP area management. Uh, if there is a Platinum lounge, just send one person there. Oh, sorry, this is the seating area. So have one person there who ensures um, that people with lanyards are attending and here they're ushering people to their seats. Also, never leave the Platinum and VIP registration desk unattended and ensure no VIP or Platinum wristbands or lanyards, whatever, are laying around. Because what happens is people sometimes just steal them, right? If you don't have anybody there. So either combine that desk with the main desk later in the day, the main front of the office or general admission desk that acts as both, um, or take it back inside, keep it at a safe space. But yeah, normally you don't leave them outside. Exclusive area monitoring, ensuring only authorized guests enter the VIP and platinum areas with wristbands. During lunch break, direct platinum guests to the lounge. Post lunch, direct them to their seats. Simple roles, exclusive experiences, blah, blah, blah. Satisfaction is the highest, I guess, like personalized attention helps reinforce the value of premium ticket purchase. Be like an air hostess. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does, or like a concierge. That's what you're doing here. Checklist of the tasks, all the things guests in the morning, escort VIPs to their sessions, monitor access, respond to VIP and platinum guest inquiries. FAQs will be where is the lounge located, when is the meet and greet. Most will have ticket inclusions, whatever they are, brief the team on how to answer them. They can answer that. Can I bring a guest? Depends again if it's just for one person, otherwise normally. Um, or yes, you can. I don't mind that because I mean, if it's one guest, because guests of platinums are also likely decent leads. Side notes, same as previous ones. Again, last one is logistics and supervision team rundown sheet. So these people, whatever they're going to be at the doorways, backstage, general event areas, supervision of access points, setup and breakdown of event features. Like this is like the team that will, if you have banners, if you have materials that you're transporting, moving around, they will be at the events ensuring everyone has land. Like this is for like manual grunt work type. So you'll probably have team members who might not be that tech savvy or the ones that are more sort of um, men who feel like tradies. I just made that up, but you get the point. Anybody who's more hands-on, just make them the security. Like these guys are the sort of like the Jackie Chans of the team. Or I just made that up. But yeah, so they just supervise the day to ensure that people with only lanyard or wristbands are coming in backstage setup. In the morning, if you have photo walls or whatever, they go and help you set up that, ensure everything is running smoothly, problem responses, emergency stuff like that, traffic flows. When there are congested areas, you guys are responsible for that. Important, make sure the gates are not left open when the day is going on. Sometimes like attendees do where they go out and they open the day gate and then you hear noise from outside coming inside. Normally, when the sessions are going on, you close the gates, right? And the people at the gates can ensure that happens. Um, ensure latecomers have wristbands that people try to sneak in later. So somebody needs to always be in one of the gates and ensure that people coming in have wristbands. Again, no wristbands, no entry. Roles and responsibility description. The logistics and miscellaneous team is pivotal in ensuring The operational success, blah, blah, blah. Checklist, backstage, whatever, all of these things are coordinated with security team. Ensure logistics improvements are accounted for. Where do I find my seats? What time does the headliner come? Where are there, like, you'll likely get these normal ones. All-rounders is optional. You can have a person who goes in all areas, or if you have random tasks like merch or something, you can assign to them. Finally, we made it to the end of the notes. So the last thing is obviously role play in the morning, ensure everything is accounted for. The time the event closes, which includes your um, FBOS machines, your materials, everything you brought together. Have a checklist and ensure like this is for the team leaders. Um, they ensure that everything is there. Have backup plans and mental notes for worst case scenarios. Right. So this one is going to be fun and important. Things always go wrong. Something will always go wrong, right? And you need to be prepared for how you're going to handle that. And I'll give you guys some tips and advice on that. So, worst case scenarios, AV doesn't work. You just contact the AV person to come in and help. In the meantime, play music or get the speaker to, or just play videos. Okay, wait, actually, that's the issue. Even if the projector, if the mic isn't working, you can play something on the screen. If the screen isn't working, then the speaker can just, if the room is small, they can shout or something. Um, Normally this wouldn't happen in the morning if it happens halfway through the day or something like that. Give people a break. Yeah, just tell them we're gonna take a 15-minute coffee break or something. And in the meantime, you guys can fix it. Uh, no staff shows. So if staff doesn't show, just distribute their workload among the other team. Angry attendees, very common. Take them back. You'll be like, I'd like to answer your question. And just you take them outside. Like they might be angry about being sold or being late or whatever ticket issue. Or the fact that we're not answering them, whatever headliner is, or just being pissed for whatever reason. You just tell them in that scenario that um like you just hear them out and then just address their questions, agree with them completely, and say that you will escalate it to the higher team. And you should normally handle it like that, right? You don't need to defend yourself or anything. Late speakers, if somebody in the back end, this is a backstage thing. If they're late, swap speaker slots. So bring somebody who was earlier later and like, yeah, just adjust it based on that at times. If somebody's sick, well, one person can speak twice. Lazy staff, if staff is lazy, you need to be able to prep them or put them on manual roles. Like I literally used to do that, where if I see somebody who's sitting all the time, I'll just put them, I'll get them to stand in like the logistics area or someplace with one of the other people who are supposed to manually check everything else. So like they're more active. Or honestly, I'll just put them on the side and get them to send them home early. Angry attendees, handle that. Late speakers, yeah. Booklet handbooks didn't arrive. Don't give them. It will be fine without it as well. Don't even mention it. Um, or when they arrive later, just have them outside. Ticketing isn't working. Manual registrations, just manually enter their name, number, and email address. I know it's a nightmare, but has happened before. Like if everybody has laptops and get everyone to bring laptops, they can just manually register people. Hopefully this doesn't happen, or just get them to wait until you guys sort it out. Walk around talking to everyone for the team lead throughout the event, encouraging them, telling them they're doing a great job, telling them because people will be nervous and stuff like that, and just answering any questions they may have, ask them for updates. How did it go? Did you notice any problems? Anything like that, right? Room around the event. And yeah, relax, stay calm, have fun, and let everyone else have fun as well. Um, and with this, hopefully it's 2:38. And excuse me if I wasn't very energetic, but I've tried to cover as much as I can during this video. Um, and you can get access. I'll probably make this checklist more beautiful later, but just go through it. Um, and hopefully this helps you guys when you're running your large scale events so you don't make mistakes, because many of these things have been based off lessons and things that went wrong, and brainstorm things that could go wrong. The prepared you are, the easier life would be. And the better systems you have, again, the easier things would be. So like this overall system just makes it very easy to run the event. Like you just look at everything that needs to be done. Like for your case, you can personalize this, tailor this, scale it down, remove the unnecessary stuff. It's a smaller event, scale it up, and then just execute it. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.